Good day, I'm Marshawn Crystal, and this is WAJ We Are Jackson News, and here are today's top stories. New retail businesses are coming to Jackson. The home decor store At Home will open this spring in the former Sam's Club building on Ridgewood Court. A new Burlington store will also open in that same area in the upcoming months. Mayor Tony T. Yarborough says the new businesses point to Jackson's economic vitality. At Home spokeswoman Stacy Sullivan says the company is excited to expand in Mississippi with the new Jackson store. And in other news, Mayor Yarborough is holding a series of meetings to update citizens about the city's progress. During the meetings, the mayor and city department heads are also answering questions the public may have on a wide range of issues. The next meeting will be 6 p.m. Tuesday, February 23rd at Forest Hill High School Auditorium, located at 2607 Raymond Road. The other meetings are scheduled for Tuesday, March 1st at Callaway High School Auditorium, located at 601 Beasley Road, and Tuesday, March 15th at Provine High School, located at 2400 Robinson Street. Mark your calendars for the Family Boot Camp for Fitness. The event is set for Saturday, February 27th at Metro Center from 12:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. The event will feature fun games and prizes, all with an emphasis on healthy living. It's free and open to the public. We'll be right back with WAJ News.
AmeriCorps strengthens communities and develops leaders through community service. Are you ready to make a difference? AmeriCorps allows you to use your energy and talents to help others while earning money and gaining job skills. If you are age 18 or older, AmeriCorps is waiting for you.
Welcome back to WAJ News. A second round of water testing shows lower levels of lead in water in about a dozen homes in Jackson. The initial testing was conducted by the Mississippi State Department of Health. Of the samples taken at 58 residences, 13 showed lead above the actionable level of 15 parts per billion. The preliminary results from the resampling show no detection levels of lead in 6 of the locations. 5 locations showed markedly lower levels. Of those 5, 2 locations still exceed the actionable level by 1 parts per billion. As for the last 2 of the original 13 locations, 1 property is now vacant and the other one was found to be using water from a private well. Director of Public Works Keisha Powell met with MSDH representatives on Wednesday, February 3rd, to discuss the preliminary results. Next steps will include identifying funding to upgrade corrosion control measures and increase monitoring in the distribution center. City crews are continuing to repair the water main break at Woodrow Wilson Avenue. The eastbound span from Peachtree Street to the VA main entrance is closed to all traffic. Detour signs and message boards have been installed. To ensure no additional congestion backs up onto I-55, both westbound lanes of Woodrow Wilson will remain open at all times. We'll be right back with WAJ News.
Hi, I'm Mayor Tony Yarborough.
And I'm Jackson Police Chief Lee Vance.
Here in the city of Jackson, we recognize that you're our #1 crime-fighting resource. So we're providing you with a tool to help us respond to criminal activity in a timely manner.
Tip 411 allows residents to text or submit crime tips. Your name is not important, your information is. Officers will receive your messages and react in real time.
My #1 priority is your safety. This tool helps us work together to make Jackson a safer place.
Welcome back to WAJ News. We now have in the studio with us Ms. Lacey Reddix, the Infrastructure Master Plan Coordinator for the Department of Public Works. She's here to talk a bit about the latest developments with the Infrastructure Master Plan. Welcome again, Ms. Lacey. We're glad to have you back in the studio.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, ma'am. So you know by your activities in the community how important your job is. And I don't think it's a more important job in the city of Jackson and the Infrastructure Master Plan. And so that being said, talk a bit about to the citizens as in the form of an update of where we are in terms of getting roads paved, because I'm sure that's what the viewing audience would like to hear.
Okay, so one, I wanted to give a status update on our year 1 projects. Our year 1 projects are moving. We have consultants for all except 3 of our projects, Medgar Evers Boulevard, Mill Street, that are set to be advertised this month. And then Lynn Street, we're waiting on MDOT for activation. But all of those projects have been moving. We're working on solidifying what our year 2 is going to look like. And we're looking at up to almost $80 million possibly on projects that are slated to be going on in our year 2 in year 2 of our plan. But once the plan for Public Works is starting in March, we want to repave as many streets as we can with the amount of money that we have in our budget. So what we're trying to do is we have a term bid. We've gotten bids back for a term bid to do neighborhood street resurfacing starting in the spring. And then we will also be putting out a major project to do major street resurfacing. These are your Ellis Avenues, Raymond Road, Terry Road, McDowell Road, West Highland Drive, Old Canton Road, Northside Drive. So those are the streets that will be covered under the major street resurfacing project, along with others as well. And that's set to happen in the spring.
Okay, okay, wonderful. And so that sort of brings us to where we are now, which is very helpful. One of the things I'd like for you to, and I'm sure the audience would as well, is kind of explain how the appropriation of this 1% sales tax work. In other words, I've heard often, as I'm sure you have too, that people believe that the $90 million that will actually accrue over some years is actually $90 million a year. So I just want to go ahead and get you to dispel that and try to break that down. So, and that's just an informational, educational piece that people just need to be aware of. So
again, we are set to get about $13 to $15 million a year with this 1% sales tax. So getting $90 million in 1 year using the sales tax is not a true test. So we're not going to be able to do $90 million unless we leverage those funds. And so we are looking at possibly leveraging funds, but we need to look at what the consequences are, how much money we will have to pay back in loans. There's other things that we need to consider when we think about how many projects we can do within a given year.
Right, but the average expenditure for infrastructure repairs with the 1% sales tax annually is roughly $13 to $14 million. Is that right?
That's how much we receive, yes.
Okay, great. And I just wanted to make sure that was clear because, again, there's some confusion about that because when people just throw these figures out like $90 million, people think they're accessible immediately. And it takes time to accumulate that with the sales tax annually. So I did want to say that. So thank you for that piece. The other piece is, you know, the other question that we get asked often is, and I think you touched upon it, but I want you to expound upon it, when they can actually see streets getting paved.
So this goes back to when you can actually do construction or street repaving during a given year. You usually don't see any street repaving during the winter months. That's because with asphalt and concrete, you usually don't want to repave streets when it's less than 40 degrees, and you also don't want to repave when it's raining outside. So the optimum time to repave is either the spring or the summertime, which is what we're shooting for right now. So what we've been trying to do is just plan accordingly and get ready for this upcoming spring to repave as many streets as possible.
Awesome. So springtime, streets paved. And explain this part as for us, if you will. There's a difference between street resurfacing and street repair. So talk a bit about, is it going to be a balance between the two, or how will that look?
So again, I think I spoke about the fact that we have a term bid coming in, and that's for mill and overlay. So this is just for repaving streets. And milling is just taking the top layer of asphalt off the street and then repaving with another new layer of asphalt. With repair, you talk about reconstructing a road, so that's base repair. So underneath the street you have your sub base, which might be crushed stone, might be clay, it might be a number of different things, and that costs substantially more money to replace as opposed to just repaving a street. So I think the numbers that we're using now, it's about $150,000 per lane mile for resurfacing a street, and then it's about $1 million per mile for reconstructing a road.
So that reconstruction will eat that $90 million up pretty quick. So that's important too for the citizens to know. And again, in terms of informing the public as to how this process works, how will they know exactly what streets will be paved within the city of Jackson?
So we have an Operation Orange Cone website. So if you go onto our city website, you'll be able to see all of that information online. you should go under Operation Orange Cone. Those streets will be available every day that a new street is going to be added to the list to be repaved for that day.
And I understand the mayor will be having some listening tours through over the next course of a few months or whatnot, and that information will be shared there as well as community meetings. Is that right?
Yes, so we've been doing a lot of community outreach through the COPS meetings. So each precinct meets, I think, once a month, and we've been going to a few of those meetings to kind of notify people of what we're going to be doing in these next coming months.
Well, good. And I know that's a very important piece in the scope of this matrix of repairing streets and the infrastructure master plan. And like I say, a lot of good information. I think I said to this the last time you were a guest in our studio. Of course, we'll be happy to have you back again and continue to give us these helpful updates. So let me take this opportunity to thank you again for the work that you do with the City of Jackson and being here today to explain to the citizens of Jackson how we're moving forward with this infrastructure master plan.
Thank you again.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks.
We'll be right back with WAJ News.
What a day, what a day. Time to go. Let's make haste. Not a second to lose, not a moment to waste. A big cat, a great ape, and a sleepy giraffe. Don't stop now, time to go. Let's make smiles and share laughs. Time with mom, fun with dad. That's a cougar, it is. Snap a pic with the fam. What a day to be kids. Lots more stuff to explore. We'll soon be on our way. Let's get cool souvenirs to remember the day. Hit the carousel now. Let's go round and around. Hey, what's under the glass? Oh, and look what I found. Frozen drinks to cool off, and if that's not enough, a fun water slide and a cool splash pad and stuff. Look at that, here we go. We can ride on a train. I don't know about you, I've got zoo on the brain. What a day, what a day. Lots to see, lots to do. Just one question to ask. How do you zoo?
Welcome back to WAJ News. Here's a list of some upcoming community events. The Department of Public Works Pothole Patrol continues to make daily rounds to address problems on city streets. Now the public can get a list of streets getting repaired each day. Just visit the city's website at www.jacksonmiss.gov to find out if your street is on the list. Residents are encouraged to call 311 to report a pothole. Now let's turn our attention to Dr. Timothy Quinn with Healthy Jackson.
Hey, how's everybody doing? I'm Dr. Quinn, and we're going to have our medical segment. The weather is about to get beautiful. It's very close to the spring, but beware, we still have to worry about the flu. The deal is the CDC just released a statement that the flu season is still in progress, so we need to be on the lookout. The deal is the flu is one of those conditions, if you catch it, you want to get diagnosed early and start treatment right away. Because the deal is the most effective treatment, which are the antivirals to include Tamiflu, are not very effective if the flu goes on for more than, say, 2 to 3 days without treatment. At that point, you can take the medication, but it's not very effective. So, what are some things to look for? Some of the symptoms include runny nose, sore throat, fever, chills, body aches. You can have headaches, you can have fatigue where you feel very tired, a lot of coughing and sneezing. If you're starting to develop those symptoms, it's a good idea to go ahead and get checked out, because the deal is, as I said, if you do have the flu, it can be diagnosed at your doctor's office and the medicine can be started right away. Because in order for the medicine to really be effective, it needs to be started in the first couple of days, and that way you don't have to suffer. The other thing to consider is the fact that if you're a young person and healthy, you could probably fight the flu off. You know, your immune system is strong and vibrant. But the deal is, if you are around, say, children or senior citizens, they might not be able to fight it off quite as well, especially for senior citizens that might have respiratory diseases like asthma or COPD, or even chronic medical conditions to include high blood pressure, diabetes, chronic renal disease or kidney problems. They're unable to fight it off as well as a young, healthy person. So if you're someone who may be around those type of people, maybe in your family or on your job or out in the community, it's a good idea to go ahead and get diagnosed if you had a flu and take the medication so you can get well and you won't spread it to other people who might not be able to fight it off quite as well. This has been Dr. Timothy Quinn, and I hope this information has been healthy. And until next time, let's be healthy.
Thanks, Dr. Quinn. We'll be right back with WAJ News.
Hi, I'm Mayor Tony Arbor.
And I'm Jackson Police Chief Lee Vance.
Here in the city of Jackson, we recognize that you're our #1 crime-fighting resource. So we're providing you with a tool to help us respond to criminal activity in a timely manner.
Tip 411 allows residents to text or submit crime tips. Your name is not important, your information is. Officers will receive your messages and react in real time.
My #1 priority is your safety. This tool helps us work together to make Jackson a safer place.
Welcome back to WAJ News. The city is urging Jackson citizens to sign up for the Emergency Alert System Code Red. The system informs you about emergencies and provides other alerts, including boil water notices and evacuation notices. Just visit the city's website at jacksonmiss.gov and click on Code Red. Help to keep our city safe by using Tip 411. Tip 411 allows residents to text or submit tips to police anonymously. All you do is simply text your tip to 847-411 and begin the message with JPD. Remember that residents can submit a request for City Services 311 Initiative. 311 Initiative provides access to city services and city information. The Service Center allows requests for all non-emergency city services and is available to residents, city businesses, and visitors. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of WAJ We Are Jackson News. From everyone here, thank you for watching WAJ News. I'm Marshawn Chrysler. Good day, Jackson.